This new footage that surfaced today from behind Donald Trump showing shooter Thomas Crooks moving clearly across the roof to get in a position to shoot Donald Trump. Follow the red circle. There it is right there on the screen across the lower roof line as they track him. Now, listen to Senator Ted Cruz challenge the acting security service director, Ron Rowe, to take responsibility for the lack of resources with Trump and denying RFK Jr. even protection. Here it is.
Did the same person deny the Trump request that also denied the RFK request? That's a yes or no question.
Senator, that is not a yes or no question. One, there is a process for a candidate nominee to receive protection.
Does the buck stop anywhere? Does the buck stop anywhere?
Dave, no one's been fired from the Secret Service after an assassination attempt and attendees that were shot dead and injured. You think there will ever be accountability?
Well, yes, I do. And listen, this was a clear breakdown in processes, protocol, and the protection of President Trump. And there needs to be accountability. There needs to be clarity. But most importantly, over these next few months, there needs to be increased protection and understanding of the threats that are out there. So, yeah, you know, I in a way, I agree with the gentleman on the screen. It needs to be done correctly. But, boy, it's got to be done and done right and done as soon as possible.
Okay. Now, in 2021, there was an interview. Republican Vice President candidate J.D. Vance described D.C. politics this way. You live in the Beltway there, so here it is. Quote, "We are effectively run in this country via the Democrats, via our corporate oligarchs, by a bunch of childless cat ladies who are miserable at their own lives and the choices they've made, and so they want to make the rest of the country miserable too." Now listen to how MSNBC analyst Molly Jong-Fast turned that comment into racism.
Well, so what's interesting is this natalism that comes from an authoritarian playbook, right? That there need to be more white children, right? That's the idea that there's, you know, this is about great replacement theory, racism, right? This is what this is.
So, Dave, J.D. Vance's wife, Usha, is the daughter of Indian immigrants, and they have three biracial children. Donald Trump today set for an hour-long panel, and that discussion was with American black journalists. How does this add up to the great replacement theory racism?
Well, the progressive left are constantly trying to divide in order to conquer. And so that's what these comments were focused on dividing Americans and trying to point out that a white nationalistic conspiracy theory that has been around for over a century is now applied in this situation. It just doesn't make any sense. And this is an attempt by the left in order to brand Vance and Trump as racist.
And I think we're going to hear a lot more of it in the few months that we have to go. Dave, thank you so much. Back to you in just a moment.
Once again, let's talk with the Intercessors for America President Dave Kuehl. Dave, so how do anti-Trump messages exchanged on government phones while allegedly trying to rig an election net $2 million from the DOJ, Dave?
Well, it's simple. Just wait. Wait till their party is back in power, and then this will all go away and financially benefit them. Listen, these two were in positions to make influential decisions, and they were clearly against President Trump in President Trump's reelection. And so it's clear that all you have to do with our current judicial system, Department of Justice, I should say, is wait and see who's going to be in power next, and we'll make all of your troubles go away.
As they say, timing is everything. You know, Kamala Harris suddenly became concerned about the southern border crisis, and during her speech in Atlanta yesterday, trying to portray Donald Trump as the reason for the 10 million plus illegal immigrants inside America.
Donald Trump, on the other hand, has been talking a big game about securing our border, but he does not walk the walk.
Well, Dave, her new ad campaign echoes this new "I can fix the border, Trump can't" message. Dave, can she run away from her history of an open border and illegal immigration?
I don't even know how she does not get laughed off the stage. I mean, regardless of what political party she's in, look at the numbers. 10 million immigrants have come across the border legally trying to get asylum or whatever in the United States. And when President Trump left office, it was one of the lowest years in history of people coming across the border, recent history. And so it's laughable, the position. And I don't want to stir things up and be all negative and everything, but it's just ridiculous. How can they even believe that?
You know, Dave, Donald Trump posted that a group of Catholics, including the Knights of Columbus, are launching a large advertising campaign against Kamala Harris, believing she is the most anti-Catholic candidate ever to run for the presidency. Why do you think they've made that determination?
Well, it's been clear that according to GovTrack, the government tracking voting record system, what happened in 2019 is Senator Harris had the most liberal voting record in that year. She was left of Bernie Sanders. And it's so interesting that in the 2 weeks of her recent announcement, the announcement of her becoming the presidential candidate, they've removed that page. And so the liberal history of this lady is clear.
You know, Dave, Intercessors for America is calling for prayer over the people of France and the Olympics. Tell us what you are asking viewers to pray for specifically.
Well, we're praying specifically for an awareness of the visual display that was in the opening ceremony, where the organizers stated that they had reached their organizational goal of having celebration of community tolerance. And so in the wake of that, we're praying that the world would recognize what is going on, and then praying for the athletes. We have one of our close friends who are over there. They're sharing the gospel with the athletes, and there are many there's much fruit for their labors.
Okay, Dave. Learn more about the important work of Intercessors for America by visiting ifapray.org. Dave, always great to have you on Victory News.
Thank you, Mike.